Hi, I'm Jonathan Stiano and I'm going to talk today about using the internal bra method for mastopexy. This is something that we get inquiries about here at the clinic, and it's something that I thought I'd address here in this video. It is a great idea, and I often see people writing articles and doing research into the technique, and what it involves is using some kind of internal scaffolding or support at the time of doing a mastopexy in order to achieve stable shape and a stable, full looking breast. Because one of the problems when you do a mastopexy is it looks very full when you first do it, and then it settles and it gets a bit less full in the upper part of the breast, and you develop what I would call a more natural breast shape, which is a bit softer and a bit more concave in the upper pole rather than the convexity in the upper pole that is sometimes associated with that fuller look that you often get with breast implants. Now, many people are very happy with this and are happy with the improvement that is achieved with a mastopexy, but some people want that fullness that you get when you have implants, and that can not really be achieved by using your natural breast tissue because it will always tend to settle. Now, I have to say, this is when you're without a bra on. When you wear a bra, then that you can always push your breasts up and give the appearance of that fullness. But without a bra, this breast will always tend to settle. Now, obviously, you can use a breast implant to achieve that fullness, and a breast lift with implants is always an option. But the main problem with this is it's going to make your breast bigger. So if you want your breast to be bigger, then a breast lift and an implants might be an option for you. But if you're happy with the size of your breasts and it's just really the shape that you don't like, and you want that stable upper pole fullness, you might be thinking, well, I like the sound of these internal bras. I think it sounds good. And yes, it does sound good. It's a way of giving support and giving fullness into the upper part of the breast, which stays there over time rather than settling. We don't really use them here at the clinic, not at the moment, and I want to talk to you about why that is. Now, it doesn't mean they're good or they're bad, because a lot of people are using them, and if they're getting good results, then that's fantastic. And so we're happy to talk to you about it and to go over the pros and cons of them. But if you really are considering using them, then I really think you should talk to someone who uses them regularly, look at some of their photos, look at some of their results to see whether it's something that you would like to have done. But I'd like to tell you why I don't use them and what our view is here. And the reason that is that whenever you use any sort of prosthetic material, there's always a risk of infection. And that's the same with an implant. An implant is prosthetic material, it's a foreign body. And if you get infection when you've got a foreign body in, whether that's a breast implant or one of these internal bra meshes or a cataract or a heart valve or a knee replacement, it doesn't matter, any prosthetic material, if you get an infection, then you have to remove that implant in order for that infection to settle. Now, with a breast implant, that's a bit of a disaster because you have to take the implant out, and it's obviously very distressing. But with these meshes, it can be even more difficult, because the whole reason for the mesh is that it becomes incorporated into the breast tissue in order to give that internal scaffolding. So it can be a bit of a problem if you were to suffer a problem with infection. Also, these meshes have to be anchored to something. There's no good having it anchored to the breast tissue, because it's the whole breast tissue that descends. So it has to be anchored to an immovable structure. So they're usually anchored to the bone of the ribs, which is fine and not a problem, but it can sometimes cause some discomfort, that bony anchoring. And again, if you get infection around those areas, then that can be troublesome. Also, the whole point of the mesh is to support the breast, so the mesh has to be outside of the breast as much as possible. Now, it's an internal bra, it's not an external thing. Obviously you don't want to see it from the outside. So what you have to do is get it right underneath the skin. So you have to develop what we call skin flaps, then put the mesh in, and then close the skin flaps over the top of it. One of the problems with mastopexy in general is wound healing problems, particularly the T-junction, because it's by definition closed under tension. And if you get wound healing problems and the mesh is just close underneath the skin, then the mesh can become exposed, and again you can get problems with discomfort, pain, and infection. So these are the complications that worry me, and the reason that I don't really use it at the moment, because I worry that the complications outweigh the benefits. No doubt that there are benefits there, and I think we as surgeons need to look at ways of giving sustained long-term results with Mastopexy. And I think it's great that we're the doctors out there pushing the boundaries forward, looking at ways. I don't think we're quite there yet personally, but as I say, there are people who are using them. If you want one of these meshes, then seek out one of those people, find out the pros and cons from them, because we've all got our own views and our own experiences. This doesn't mean one person's right or wrong. But currently, as it stands, I think it's best to go with the standard techniques for Mastopexy and accept that slight concavity in the upper pole. Now, obviously, the shake's better, but you accept that that fullness does settle. You do get a slight concavity in the upper pole. Obviously, you can wear push-up bras and wear clothes to get to achieve a fuller look, but out of a bra, you will have what I would call a more natural look. If you're not happy with that, then I suggest that you think about other things. You could always consider an implant, but as I say, that really is for people who want to be bigger. At the end of the day, come to the clinic, have a consultation. You can either come here or with any other fully trained plastic surgeon to get a balanced view about the pros and cons and what's right for you, because we can't really tell you what's right for you. You have to have it bespoke for your own views and your own appearances and what you're trying to achieve for your breast shape. I hope that's been helpful, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel because we're doing videos all the time. Every week we update it, yeah, it'd be good to see you one day in the clinic. Bye.